You're watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show.
Buongiorno.
Hello.
Hi. Konnichiwa. Moshi moshi.
This is our shortest one of the month. We're just doing a quick catch up. Definitely not to give me a break on the post-production or outside normal work.
Just nice to touch base, check in, how you doing.
Talk about some of the stuff that we've been up to as well. My health is getting better.
Same here.
Yeah, so
I'm losing more weight. It's great.
Same here. Just a thing I love using the platform for a good reason is guy, girl, everybody in between, make sure that you check out your health, because I'm genuinely pleased that I have. I'm at the age where you kind of have to.
Was it one finger or two?
Let's just move past that, shall we? Because that was today.
Oh.
It was actually today, yeah.
That's why you're sat a bit weird.
Yeah, no, but apparently all good. So guys, get yourselves checked out, particularly, but everybody else, it's always a good idea to make sure that your body is healthy, because it makes your mind more healthy.
It does. Give yourself go to the doctor and ask for a body MOT.
Yeah, I was going to say a little bit of an MOT.
Bloods and all that kind of stuff. It's all it's worth doing. Here in the UK, you can get it done for free.
Yeah, Americans, save up for it. I genuinely feel sorry for people that have to pay for healthcare.
I know. We can, if we want to, skip the 18-month queue.
You can.
I'm waiting for a referral, and the most I'll get is September 26, I think, roughly.
But it is still free.
It is.
So grateful for that, because there's some people that don't even have that option.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I just want to make sure that if this is one of the first times you're watching us, go check out some of the stuff that we've done since the new year started.
It's been a fun year so far. We're almost 2 months in now.
Yeah, a good few shows. We've got a couple of album review shows.
We have, yes.
Covering classics and awesome new bands like VUKOVI and Old Black Era.
Who just won a MOBO award.
Wish we had that in the show that we actually talked about them on.
It'll go in on the promo, I'm sure. But yeah, well done, ladies. That's some good. It's a good album as well, which is why I picked it.
Yeah. So make sure you check out that. Also, again, just a quick explanation. We are an 18-year strong new music show that does interviews with bands, basically to try and celebrate people's music.
We've had some good ones on the radio in the past month as well, which you can all find either on Mixcloud or your favourite streaming platform like Spotify, which is my favourite one, because it's the one I pay for. But Amazon or Apple, I think it's on Tidal and Pandora, something like that in the States. So I know it's on it. We just don't use it.
Yeah, we've put it absolutely everywhere we can.
So Mike James Rock Show on your favourite streaming platform, but you want to look under the podcast tab.
Yeah, we have a phantom profile on Spotify. Now I understand why bands get a bit frustrated from time to time.
But you need that one when we do our merch drops. Coming.
At some point.
Just coming.
Not only that, but whilst you're searching for My James Rock Show, we are active largely on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
We are.
We put up little funny things from our interviews, where we've been. Basically the in-betweeny bits that we talk about here go up on our social media. Come give us a like, follow, and if you're watching the show for the first time, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell.
But more importantly, share it. Tell your friends about us. It's the only way we're going to get more people listening to new music.
Yeah.
And it's all human picked, believe me.
And we literally, as one of the things that we love doing as part of all of this is being interviewers. It takes up a big portion of our year going to festivals, and we're currently looking at trying to go to Slam Dunk, Download, 2000 Trees, Bloodstock and Reading.
And possibly some others in between, like little day fests and stuff like that. We just like getting around.
Yeah, if you're involved in a festival that you want us to come check out and interview bands, say in the comments. If you're just a fan of bands and you want us to interview maybe a low-level band at Download that could do an interview opportunity, all the way to give us questions for your favourite bands. We like the interaction online. You can tell us who to interview, what to ask, and as long as it's within the realms of professionalism and appropriateness, we'll probably ask the questions.
Like, have you got your Johnson tattoo.
Johnson's probably the best word.
Which this man has actually asked in an interview. If you go back onto the YouTube, was it Dan?
Hold on.
years ago?
I'm going to get Future Dan to do something. Future Dan, drop that bit.
I think I'll probably just let you guys go because you've been kind enough to spend a couple of minutes with us, and otherwise it will just descend into weird fanboy questions that I probably should never ask on camera.
Hit us with one though. Give us one of them.
The
weirdest one.
Either of your penises tattooed?
No. No.
For all the coverage, never done that one?
Never.
No.
Okay.
Never will.
No.
All right,
All butt cheeks.
I think I've answered a lot of people's questions there as
There
well.
are a couple of guys who do have butt cheeks.
And it's a like, share,
All of
bell,
that.
comment. You know what you're doing.
So we will say, even to my favourite artists like Danny Warsnott, I will say pretty much anything that isn't going to offend or upset anyone, but it can be completely off the wall.
He was not offended, and he did say to you, "You could ask me anything." So you did.
Yeah, and that's not
You weren't whining about.
No. And for those following other podcasts in this series or like previous series, there was the time that we talked about Winston, and then at the end of that episode I did cut in the fact that I've said very strange things to Winston over the years, but that's partly why he remembers me, and then now comes back for another interview, so I blame him for being a bit weird.
You noticed that, I don't know if you saw this online, but they announced a show in Sydney with a full symphonic...
At the Opera House.
At the Opera House, yes. Symphonic orchestra. The Flames are going to be there, they're going all out.
Parkway Drive does S&M.
That's a personal thing for them, I'm sure.
I was thinking of Metallica popularising the idea probably more so than most bands.
I don't know. Bring Me the Horizon did it at the Royal Albert Hall a couple of years ago, and they were all suited up for it.
But I don't think Metallica's was late 90s, I believe. They won the first, I know that much.
Yeah.
But SNMB became one of the biggest albums that they had done in their time.
It is good. That first 5-6 songs of it is good, but they've also done it again. They did it like 10 years later.
Yeah.
Was it Ennio Morricone, something like that, as the conductor?
Because Michael Keenan, I believe, is the first one. Unfortunately, I believe he passed away by that point. So, but that's they did it because he wrote originally on the original S&M. He wrote all of the stuff to go with it.
The strings, the orchestration.
Yeah. And what's hilarious is he's never going to see this, but my dad is also an orchestral composer.
Okay.
And he took issue. It was not the way that he would have arranged things for the song, which always made me giggle.
Perhaps we should ask him to do a remix the intro to our radio.
Or just our background music, make it orchestral and symphonic. Yeah.
And then we'll have to play like Within Temptation or someone like that.
Yeah.
But we've had some, going back on the interview, we've had some good ones on the show this year so far.
Well, you've smashed it on the online interviews. I've only done one so far.
Yes.
So
I remember like VUKOVI and that's the only one I can think of.
Watchers, he has had to wrestle a particular band back away from me.
Oh yeah.
I may have. This is just dropped on our radio show. You can go across, as he said earlier, any stream platform, catch the full thing. But my boy interviewed Killswitch for the first time in about a decade.
Yeah, me and Mike D, we had a good conversation about the new album, tour plans, the fact that he still does all the artwork, and what they've done with the new artwork for this album is insane, and what they're going to do if it all comes off. It's great, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. Just go over to the streamers and search Mike James Rock Show on your podcast page. We're
also hoping that at some point in the very near future, interviews like that are also going to be up on our V2 page, as yet unnamed. So keep watching this space, because we are going to make sure that all of the content that we talk about you can find anywhere, and if we can try and keep it free as well. For the most part, we've always tended to make that decision, haven't we?
Free's the best way.
Exactly.
Nothing tastes better than free pizza.
Plus, we want people to just listen to the bands on our radio show. And
that's the whole point of it.
Yeah, and the interviews as well. We chat to people to get a deeper insight into why they wrote stuff. Again, Mike did such a good one with VUKOVI that it was my album choice for last week's show. Because the interview itself, I was like, no, actually, that one stands out from everything. That's one.
Another band I hadn't interviewed for the best part of a decade because you always jumped in it. So I mean, sometimes
Sometimes it was me. Sometimes you did say that I should just go and do the interviews because.
This is true.
I was prepped without being prepped.
And we've also done an in-person interview in the last couple of weeks together. You might have seen all over our socials.
I was going to say that, one of those moments went up, but there is an awful lot to that interview. We cover, because it's with Jarrett from Bowling for Soup, and
Legend.
We have very different ways of going about interviews in many ways. So when you put us together, it meant that we got quite a lot of really insightful stuff out of Jarrett. We talked about cancel culture when you have banter on stage. You very, very beautifully covered what's happening with Chris as well.
Legend.
And then we also talked quite deeply, because we've known Jarrett a long time now. Even though I've done the show on camera because it was always me, you've been friends with him as long as I have, because you actually set up the original thing with him, but more now.
I remember interviewing them in the Great Hall in Exeter when I was still on Phonic FM rock show. Before the Mike James rock show, I went up and interviewed, I think it was actually him and Chris.
Yeah.
With an old friend of ours, Chris Hine.
And I got...
For Hit the Floor magazine?
Yeah, hit the floor, hit the deck.
No, Hit the Deck was the festival. That's what I was trying. That's
so
why I was asking.
Hit the floor. Also a track by Bullet for My Valentine that we saw recently.
We've been to gigs. We saw obviously Bowling for Soup because that was in person.
And on that, because there is actually quite a big story to tell with Bowling for Soup. That's after the one that you did, and I think I interviewed the other members. So we have managed to get the whole card at some point.
Oh yeah, they've
with them.
Off.
But yeah, make sure that you go across and check out the full interview of us chatting to Jarrett, because there is an awful lot of information that comes in at that interview, which is great. I love talking to Jarrett. We will explain, probably, I think it's booked in for next week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, our deep dive.
Oh yes, yeah.
So we're gonna deep dive on Bowling for Soup, and
making a cameo.
My cat's just walked in the room.
Say hi to all of our viewers here.
He's potentially going to jump up, or we've just drawn attention to him, but you can't actually see him. I'm not sure.
He did meow, so hopefully that was picked up.
Yeah.
Perhaps you can enhance it post.
He is the boss of the rock show, or the director, he told me the other day.
Yeah, that was a very disapproving look.
Yeah. Make sure that you find us on all social media, Mike James Rock Show. Make sure you find our radio show, also called Mike James Rock Show, on all your favourite streaming platforms, and then make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep up with this podcast part of our overall Mike James Rock Show experience.
Indeed, yes. Every week we put out a new radio show and a new YouTube-y type podcast, which you'll soon be able to see on Spotify streaming platform.
Yeah, so until next week when we jump deep in, I'm going to kick my cat out of the studio as soon as we're done, and
she'll sack you.
Yeah.
He'll sack you.
I was going to say.
I've got a female cat.
Yeah, I've got a male cat. See you next time.
Peace.
Thank you for watching our little catch up as to what we've been up to recently. We have the deep dive coming on Bowling for Soup. I know we've been talking about it a lot, but watch the next episode, you'll understand why. Very personal to me and to Mike, to be honest. So make sure you check that out. Find our radio show on all your music streaming platforms. We're going to be hitting Spotify with this episode as well, so if you're watching that there's a few episodes you can go back and watch, all the normal stuff, and we'll see you next time.